Welcome to today's Growth Day session. My conversation today is about how to, one, manage people, right? Which is management in terms of overseeing and leading, but also how to manage conversations, manage humans. I think there's a perspective we think management's always, I'm in charge, I'm leading. So here's the thought. For me, we'll call it my world started in terms of having to be a leader in a sense of managing human beings. Back when I first got out of the NFL, was entering into the space of called entrepreneurship. I had a job at a 24-hour fitness for a week, and I had a job for a week because I go, I'm not built to have a boss. Like, I'm kind of unemployable. I don't want to listen to this guy. His name was I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Bald guy. Oh man, I can't think of his name, but he's a really good guy. And I go, okay, I like this guy. He's a good human being, but I don't think he can be my Joel. His name was Joel Pennick. Good dude. But I was like, I don't think I can follow Joel as the boss. I'm not built for this. I need to have some perspective of a person I think can lead me was one part of it. But also I found that I like the idea of being in leadership positions because when I was on football teams, when I was doing my thing, I oversaw people. I led people. I was used to that. So that being the follower didn't fit. Now, I'm not saying that the mind of that 25-year-old kid is the right mind, because at that time, in hindsight, it wasn't the right perspective or reason to leave that place. Just because you didn't like the boss or having a boss isn't why you leave. But I believe there's some things that Joe could have done differently that might have kept me around longer. And so I've used those thoughts to lead today's conversation, but also give his perspective. When I left that, I opened up my own business at a gym called Trucks Training in the East San Francisco Bay Area, a town called Antioch. It is not the best town in the world now, but it's still home. I still love my town. I love what it's about. But I remember when I first opened my business, I was thrust into a world that was the microcosm of the genuine world, which is now I am having to lead myself. I have other trainers I have to lead, a front desk team, a sales team, people that are doing marketing. I was overseeing a bunch of people. I had no idea what I was doing. Anybody had that before? You're leading people, but you don't know exactly what you're doing. So that was me. I'm like, I'm going to open a business. It's going to be amazing. And then I get in. And it was a tornado of crazy. Like, to be quite honest, it was this weird situation where I go, I have a skill set and I know I'm good, but I can't move this ship if it's just me trying to move it, but everyone's just hanging out on deck. I had to get everybody in the same kind of boat, rowing in the same direction. And that for me was tough. I got a hand up right there. That for me was tough. And I'm not saying I didn't believe in my abilities, but I didn't understand psychologically what I wasn't doing properly. At one point in time, I had a whole team of people. I was overseeing myself, 19 trainers, 3 salespeople, and a manager. And if you want to call the janitor, we could too. So I'm like 20 something plus people that are direct reports to me. And so I'm going, this is crazy. How do I do this? And then at one point I go, I got to figure it out. And I did figure it out. Some of the things I learned, I'm going to be teaching very specific from actual experience. From that, I progressed on to do what I do now. I've consulted around the country, all over the world in different companies. I actually have a client now who's an Amazon VP. The guy is an amazing human, oversees billions of dollars, literally every single year of revenue. And he oversees thousands and thousands of people through his direct reports. And so I've learned so much, not just in what I learned, but also through call it vicarious interactions in we're 4 years in his coaching, as a coaching client, of all the things he's navigated. So I'm giving you this perspective of my experience. Let's dive into what I want to really talk about, though, for which will benefit you, is the types of management we have. The 2 types we have in the beginning is going to be managing as a leader and managing relationships. If we're taking notes, these are the 2 separations that are going to be big for you to understand. There's managing in a sense of when I was in college, I was leading my teammates. I led the people as a brick and mortar. I lead my team online. I lead my clients online. There's leadership in terms of how I manage people as a leader. But one of the big key pieces is going to be, how do I manage people as relationships? Right? That's one thing I don't think we understand, that there's always a relationship. There's always a human you're working with, unless it's AI. And the next 5 years, you might be managing your AI. Who knows? If it, hey, AI, can you write me a script to make my dog go to the bathroom? And maybe the dog does that. I don't know, making something up. But you know what I'm saying? It's a weird future we got going on. But there's going to be this world of where we have to interact with humans primarily. And in the management of that, I didn't know back in the day how incredibly important that was if I wanted to lead. Because the managing of relationships and individuals and people around you is one of the most intricate and necessary pieces to master to be a leader for a company that you want to get to the next level. And as we go through today's conversation, I want you to grasp the separation. I'll talk to both points so you can understand why they're connecting, but these are my anchors. Today's my anchor is leading, managing as a leader, and managing relationships so you can get people to buy in and properly lead them. If you don't get these two things, you will fall so short. You'll go, why can't I move? Why can't I get things going? Well, because you're not properly leading individuals. So let's look at it this way. Why is it necessary? One, I need to have amazing management skills of other people at work so we can accomplish tasks and initiatives. There is such a humongous need for this that I don't think we pay attention to. We assume that if you're getting paid for the job, you better do it because you're getting paid. Let's accomplish this task. Why aren't you getting the job done? Why aren't you as motivated as I am? Why aren't you dialing in? Well, because you didn't manage the relationship. Now we have tasks that have to be accomplished, movements have to get done, things have to be executed. But if people don't feel like they're in the right position or the right place, what happens is we don't accomplish the task and we don't get the initiatives met. So you lose money, you're ineffective, you're inefficient. In fact, billions of dollars, billions with a B, are lost every single year. And there's a stat you can look up because of people's workplace lack of focus. Their lack of focus makes the company lose billions of dollars, meaning what we have is a workday of 8 hours. And if they can't focus for more than 2 or 3, we don't get a lot of stuff done. We're just paying a bunch of money for them to sit around. And I believe that part of that has to do with leadership, how they're being managed. Are they understanding the initiative? Are they understanding their job within it? Are they getting things done? Or are they just not even worried about it because they don't care about the person? They're there to get a paycheck, right? So when you get people bought into the motion, oh man, the whole thing moves. So big thing is you got to have the managing of the actual, we'll call it leadership, where we're going, and the people be in place. You can accomplish tasks. Next is, I believe we need to be able to do this to enjoy our workplace. Nowadays, you can pretty much do anything you want. It's weird. Like you can leave a job and go learn a skill set fairly quickly because the world we have is so information heavy. You can learn a pretty new skill or new information, go somewhere else, try your hand at something and kind of figure it out. And the worst thing for a company, the worst thing for a person, even in life, is to not be able to enjoy their work experience and then have to have people leave. So if I have a career, I have a job, and I don't like my work experience, I'll leave. If I'm an owner of a company and I'm trying to get everything moving and everything going, and I don't create an enjoyable workplace for my human beings, well, they'll leave. So if they were doing a job and I train them on that job and everything was going smooth, and they go, man, I don't even like working here because you didn't create a good, enjoyable work experience because you weren't leading properly or managing their relationship properly, well, they go. And now I have to go and find a new person. This was one of the worst things I had to deal with when I had my brick and mortar, because you need a person there right now. Like if the front desk wasn't, like there's no one at front desk, well, who's checking people in? Who's taking payments? Who's processing paperwork? Who's doing this? Well, I guess I am today, So if people don't like working there, it's not a fun working environment. Well, then you have to keep finding new people and you have to keep training new people, and you're never able to really get into stride. So to even accomplish tasks, you need to have a workplace environment that's enjoyable. And the last thing, which ties to both of these, is you got big goals you want to get done. And if you guys heard me talk at GrowthDay, I talked about this statement I heard from TD Jakes that I love. And he says, if your goal can be done by yourself, the goal isn't big enough. And I really like that one. There's something to that. Even if it's just your family supporting you and allowing you to do your thing without, freaking out on you, we'll call it. But there's this thing where we do want to accomplish and get things done. Like we want to have a space in life where we can get to the top of the mountain and go, man, I made it. I'm at the top of the mountain. I feel good. Now, you do want to enjoy, in my opinion, you want to enjoy the journey to the top of the mountain more than just the mountaintop. Because if you don't enjoy the journey, then what's the point of going to the next mountaintop? It's going to be crazy. Like, I don't even want to climb that thing. And it looks bigger, right? But to be honest, we do love moments to sit back and pause.
This can be your day for personal growth. This can be that day you committed to and you remember and you go, that was the day I got myself a community. I got better coaches. I committed to making my life the absolute best that I could. This is that day. Make today your growth day. Click the button on this page and sign up right now.